What's up, guys? It's Mike. um, Today I am gonna talk to you guys about what the different cards are, what the big hits mean. I get really excited about the big hits. I really enjoy it because they've really changed up what they do with these cards, and it's super super cool. And gets Cherry super fired up, and when she gets fired up, I get fired up. She's awesome. Um, so And this would be a lot easier to explain if I had some older cards, which I have one, which is like my prized possession, even though it's not my most expensive card. It's just the Pokemon that's on it is a ladybug, and my sister that passed away, we call her Ladybug, so it has a important meaning to the card. Um, but I can show you guys that one here. It's a ladybug. It's a reverse hollow. Anyways, so playing the game, you want to get energies, you want to get Pokemon tools, supporter cards, your Pokemon, and then you got another supporter card here. Um, but this fire, you get these energies to build up attacks on your cards here. Um, and then you use these, like the Pokemon tool or your supporter cards here, to say, like Clement's Quick Wit here, right? On this card, you can heal your Pokemon 60 damage points. So say he took a hit and he's about to die in the game, you can revive him by 60 or things like that. Now, getting to what cards are hits and what cards are not hits. Now, it's it's different because like when I first started collecting, like a lot of times, they didn't have the cool illustration cards like they do now. Kind of, it was, you had normal cards like these. These are what would be normal because they're not holographic. They're just general. There's nothing, you know, crazy about them. The only ones that are really worth money, they're just normal cards like this, are the old original base sets from like the 90s and stuff like that. Those are the ones that are worth money. They're just basic, not holographic cards. Which this card right here, right now, that I have, if it graded to a 10, would be almost $500, like this. Right now it's almost $20, just like without it being graded and stuff like that, because it's from the early to or late mid 90s on the card. There's also, it's kind of confusing too because there's over 100 different sets of Pokemon out there, and most of the time the sets have a lot of recurring Pokemon that go through it. So sometimes they're not always worth as much in one set as they are in another set. Um, so getting to what we're looking for when we're getting these hits. So these here are EX cards, right? And they're super cool, super illustrative, right? The whole card's pretty much holographic, super cool. These cards are hit cards, but they're not. Most of the time, they're not. Um, there might be only like $3, $4, which is about what maybe the pack costs to buy for one pack. So then you get one card, and then it costs about what the card or the whole pack costs. Something that they started doing, I don't know. We talk about like reverse hollows sometimes, and like the Pokeballs, what that means. So like what they started doing is they started doing a lot of these reverse hollows like this, and it's weird. I don't know if it was just like to get people more drawn into the game, or oh, you get more holographic cards in a, you're guaranteed to get one or two of these in a pack, even though they're not worth anything. They're only like 25 cents. They started making reversed Pokeballs, and it's actually kind of hard to see. There you go. You can see it now. So there's a bunch of them on the card. Reverse Pokeballs, and this card right here is like $7. It's like $40 graded if it's a nice grade on it. Sometimes it's not worth grading the cards. They're still worth money if you just collect it. Like for instance, I might not get this card graded just because right now it's $7. It's gonna cost me $15 to grade it, another $20 to have it, what do they call it, insured, because they won't let you ship it unless it's insured. So you're already $35 into the card, and the card only might be worth $45 in a 10, and that's if you get it to be a 10. Not all the cards are always good. A lot of it has to do with the edges on the cards, stuff like that. So yeah, that's another cool card there. And we did get some of those new, the new pokey hits, with the reverse hollows that are, with the Pokeball. So like what the reverse hollow is like, think about looking at this card right here, and it's not holographic, but I've also seen this card drawn where it's holographic and then it has, Pokeball on. So these are the new reverse hollows with the Pokeballs on them. And right now, on my collector, they don't have a price yet because this set, literally, you could pre-order on the 6th, and they didn't come out till the 9th. So no one has even sold these on the market yet, but they are the hits in these packs. Here's another one here. That was super cool. We got these ones last night. If you watched that video of the Terrestrial Festival poll with Jerry. God, she's so goofy, man. That's my little homie. She keeps me super energetic on here. The other thing that I think one of our friends asked, like, what is the evolution? Now, like the evolution, which I can get to here, is Eevee is a normal stage 1 is what they call it. Pokemon, it's a beginner Pokemon, right? Because if you're playing the game, you have to have the first stage first. You can't just, oh, I got the third stage, the evolution of this Pokemon. It'd be like you having a, I don't know how to really explain it except for it's like, okay, so you have a caterpillar that turns into a butterfly. That's what these Pokemon do, except for you're throwing like these cool stones at them that would be like, water, grass, all the different elements in the world, which are super cool. But like with Eevee, this is actually one of my best card I got right now. Is my Flareon. It's about a $40 card right now, not graded. And since it's so new, there's no graded ones. We don't know what these cost graded yet. And then these, we've been pulling some of these. They're also the one of the stages of Eevee when it evolves into a new Pokemon, but Eevee can turn into whatever stone you use. So it could be water, fire. There's an original one. I don't think that one changes anything. But there's like 9 stages of Eevee, which is a little fox. And if people are wondering what some of these Pokemon, like what they are, what they represent, some of them look like stuff, and some of them don't. Some of them are just made up mystical creatures. The guys that came out with Pokemon, they were really into insects and animals, and they were into anime, and so they made it into one thing and presented it as Pokemon. So I think it's pretty cool like that. Now they also have these here, these gold cards, which are pretty big hits sometimes. They're ultra rare cards, so you're looking for these here. The other difference I forgot to tell you guys too on these, so like these are just like double rares, so it's like more than one holographic on these two, but they're only, so they're not super expensive. This is a double art illustration rare, so it's a lot harder to pull these cards here. The pull rate's very low on these compared to, say, I might be able to pull a card like this 1 out of every 5 packs. This one I might only be able to pull it 1 out of every 10, maybe. That might be what the odds are, something like that. Something that also they're doing different too is adding these ace specs, and we really haven't seen where the price is going to go on these exactly yet. I have like 4 or 5 of them, but they're still hit cards, so we have it, in a nice case, trying to save that card there. Here's another one of those EX cards that we're talking about, like that one, but this one, for whatever reason, is worth more money than the other normal EX cards. So like I said, this is a new set that we got last night. We don't know what these cards, some of these cards are priced at. If you look them up right now, some of them still say zero because they haven't sold them at any um, big card shows anywhere or anything like that. So we really don't know. Um, but hopefully that helps you guys. Oh, we'll show you guys these too. So these are the other hits, which I think are very cool. These are some full art illustration cards. Um, some of them are super expensive, some of them are not super expensive, but say there could be, you know, $6, $7, $3, $4. I think this one's 3, 4, maybe 3 or 4, and I think it's like 5 or 6, something like that. They're also chase cards. So like what we're doing is we're chasing these, and you want to hold on to these because eventually, um, some of these are gonna be super expensive if you get them graded. Some of them aren't. The other thing is like like for instance with this new pack, Eevee. One thing that Pokemon did is really cool. Eevee is a very very popular Pokemon, and it still is, and everybody loves all the different Pokemon that comes out of Eevee, and so like what Pokemon did was they did it. They have a different Eevee, or what Eevee could turn into in every single energy. Another, but the difference would be like say Pikachu, right? Pikachu is a very very popular Pokemon because that's Ash's Pokemon in the show, which is the trainer, the main trainer in the whole series, and or what the series is about, and but they didn't make a bunch of evolutions of Pikachu. They have just Pikachu and then his evolution, but what they did was they took a bunch of maybe random Pokemon and they kind of made them look like Pikachu a little bit, but they're not, and so that's something that they do that's pretty cool too. So it's kind of hard to explain like what exactly is worth money right now because I have to like look up on my thing, and I'm a part of like this little club thing. And I have to like look up and see what these cards are worth, that they're worth trying to save, keep. Um, like in my binder, I could show you guys real quick here. Um, there's some cards in here, like just my first page is all the EX cards and what you think would be a lot of big hits, but they're only like a couple dollar cards here and there. So, eventually they'll get to be there. I'm used to like collecting Pokemon cards like from back in the day when they were just either a normal holographic or a reverse holographic. There wasn't all these different sets to try to figure out. So I'm also learning as we go here too with you guys. Like I don't know. Sometimes I might grab a card and be like, oh, this one's worth a lot of money, but it might not be worth anything. It might just be like, oh, well, I guess it just looks cool. And I'll share that with you guys too. And hopefully here soon, we're gonna get some of these cards graded. Like I would definitely want to get my Flareon sent in. That's the full art illustration here. The big hit. This is my biggest hit ever on camera. And I'm hoping to get some more of these cards soon here for you guys. But yeah, don't be afraid to ask any questions. I'm still learning a lot about what we got going on here as far as these cards go too. So I really appreciate you guys stopping by. Thank you.